G'day guys, before we hop into today's vlog, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. From now on, I'm going to be putting out Day-Leigh vlogs every single day. I'm going to be tracking my process, playing these 1-2-6 max games, hopefully moving up in stakes. But even if I don't, you'll get to watch me fall on my face every single day on this YouTube channel. So make sure you hit subscribe so you get the new videos as they come out every single day. For now, onto the vlog. G'day everyone, welcome back to the vlog. It's currently about 20 past 5 on another cold Melbourne morning. Just woken up, but I'm feeling alright. Definitely looking to get a feed in at the moment before we go play poker. Didn't end up playing that much poker yesterday. I did put in one 4-hour session in the morning, but then after that took the rest of the day off. Didn't vlog either. Just hung out with Elizabeth for most of the day, but that's out of the way, that's done. Now we're back onto the full-time grind. Going to put in a full day of the 1,500 hands. Looking to get that in soon. First I'm going to get a feed in though. So let's see. Okay, so it's about 6:10 a.m. at the moment here in Melbourne. Just had my feed. You might have noticed that the portion sizes of that meal were a bit smaller. It's to do with the diet that I'm still on. Not the best. I do like having a really big breakfast in the morning, but obviously to stick to the diet, gonna have to limit portion sizes at least a little bit. So I got my feed in now. Now I'm ready to go play some poker. The goal for today, that 1,500 hands with 5 tables running all at once. I think to play my A-grade game today, I'm going to need to just focus in on the decisions I'm making, not get distracted by anything else. And if I do start to feel fatigued, I should probably just leave, regardless of if I don't have enough hands or not. But just when I start to feel fatigued or tired, I'll leave and I'll come back to it later in the day. And hopefully it won't take that long to get out the 1,500 hands, considering we're going to be playing 5 tables. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get in the game. Welcome back everyone. It's currently about 2:30 in the afternoon here in Melbourne and I'm done. I just wrapped up my second session of poker for the day. Ended up playing 5 hours and 15 minutes for a grand total of 1,572 hands. So as you probably were able to tell, I did keep it 5 tables for the entirety of all of the sessions today. And obviously it paid off because it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. I'm already done playing poker. Gives me a bunch more extra time to work on this vlog, which obviously I'm pretty stoked about saving time. So definitely excited that I did keep the move to 5 tables going and looking forward to the future when I do mix in 6 tables, see how many we can get playing at once. But yeah, very happy with that at the moment. Something I'm not as happy about are the results from today's session because I ended up losing 583. Yikes, obviously a big loss there. So not so stoked about that for obvious reasons. In terms of my gameplay grade for today's sessions, I'm actually going to wait until the end of the vlog to give out the gameplay grades just because today I'm going to put out 2 hand histories for the vlog. I figure since I finished so early, I'll take the extra time and add in an extra hand history for you guys. I know you guys are always wanting more hand history, so happy to get an extra one out now that I do have the time. So we'll get to both those hand histories, then we'll give the gameplay grade, just so you have a bit more context on how I feel about my game. So without any further ado, let's get into the first hand history. So first hand, the action gets to me in the cutoff. I have ace queen offsuit. I go ahead and open it up to 5. Then the action gets to an unknown big blind. They go ahead and 3-bet it to 20. The action gets back around to me in the cutoff, and I already think pre-flop this is a pretty interesting decision, whether to 4-bet or just call. Obviously going to take folding completely off the table with a hand as strong as ace queen. The reasons I would potentially consider 4-betting here are that a cutoff versus big blind dynamic is usually pretty aggressive anyway, so the chances that I do have the best hand with ace queen here are pretty high, so I would like 4-betting for that reason. The reason I do decide to just call, and I prefer just calling in this spot, is because I'm pretty sure I do have the best hand with ace queen now, but if I do 4-bet and then get called, I am much less confident that ace queen is the best hand. So for that reason, I think it's a bit better to just play conservative and call here. So that's what I do. So we go heads up to a flop of queen jack 5 with 2 clubs. The big blind goes ahead and c-bets 30. The action's on me here, and I think I have a pretty easy decision to call with my top pair, top kicker. So that's what I do. I call, and then we get to see a turn, which is the 5 of diamonds, so repeat of bottom pair, and puts out the backdoor flush draw. And the big blind keeps at it. They go ahead and rip it all in for about 150 into the $100 pot. So pretty big shove here. It's a pretty gross spot for us when we do have top pair, top kicker. Obviously my opponent is representing pocket kings, pocket aces, which we lose to. They could also have pocket jacks as well, actually. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we do lose to. Having said that though, we do have one of the stronger hands in our range when we do call the 3-bet with ace queen here. And we do block pocket queens, which is also good. But having said that, there's also flush draws. There's front door flush draws, back door flush draws, and my opponent could potentially have combinations of any of those. I think folding would make sense against a more tight opponent, but being that we don't know anything about this opponent, I think we just have to close our eyes and call with top pair here. That's what I do. I throw in the call, and then my opponent shows pocket kings. Ugh, gross. And the river was the 4 of hearts, so unfortunately we don't get there, and we lose a pretty big one there. Obviously, a bit unlucky in that first hand, bit of a mini cooler, so let's see if we can shake it off and come back with the stronger second hand. So the action's on a unknown low jack. They go ahead and open it up to 4. Then an unknown button calls, and the action's on me in the big blind, and I have king queen offsuit. I decide to call here. I think given that I'm getting such a good price to continue out of the big blind, that's the standard option. I would maybe consider 3-betting sometimes, but against a low jack open, that's going to be a tighter range. Not looking to 3-bet against that too often. Definitely not with a hand like king queen offsuit. So I do throw in the call, and then we are 3 ways to a flop, and the flop is king a6 rainbow. I go ahead and check it to the pre-flop aggressor. They go ahead and bet 6.5. The button folds. When the action's back on me here, I think again we have another very easy decision to call. That's what I do. I go ahead and throw in the call. So he still heads up to a turn. The turn's the 8 of spades. So full rainbow on the board, middle pair repeats. The action's on me here, and I do think there is some merit to having a leading range on a turn card like this. If I did have a hand like an 8, I think this would be a good spot to go ahead and value bet it, or some hand that I wanted to bluff with, maybe a backdoor spades, picked up equity. I think this might be a good card for me to go ahead and bet on. But when I do have a hand like king queen, not looking to really lead out here when my opponent can very easily have ace king or aces. So I don't think that might be a bit silly to do that with king queen here. But just for some food for thought, this is a good card to lead out on as the big blind. But in this spot specifically with king queen, easy check to the aggressor. I go ahead and check it, then they check it back. So we are still heads up to the river. The river's a 9 of spades. The action's on me here, and now I definitely think I want to go ahead and bet out, try and get a bit of value. I think it's very unlikely that we are beat when my opponent does check back the turn, so I'm going to bet out, try and get value from a worse king, maybe like a pocket 10s, pocket jacks that wants to hero call. I go ahead and make it 15, and the action gets back to the low jack, and they go ahead and raise it up to 45. Wow, I wasn't really expecting to get raised in this spot here, but now that I have to think about it. What do I lose to? Well, the hands that I lose to are pocket 9s. That's definitely something my opponent could have in their range. They could have king 9 that are rivered 2 pair. That's definitely possible, but would they really raise that hand when I could potentially have an 8 myself? I'm a bit skeptical, and I'm actually a bit skeptical in general that my opponent can really represent anything other than pocket 9s on this card when they raise. It's like with anything else, they would have, like, if they had an 8, they would have continued betting on the turn. If they have ace king, like, they might check the turn, but if they do check the turn, are they really going to raise the river for value? Like, it's pretty thin when I can have an 8. So I'm skeptical of that. So I really just think this raise is, unless it's exactly pocket 9s, I think it's a bluff. So obviously I have a very easy call then with king queen, right? I think so. I throw in the call, and then my opponent shows pocket tens. So yeah, they did end up turning their pair into a bluff, and obviously we take that pot in. So pretty stoked with that. So those were two of the more interesting hand histories I think I played in today's sessions, which brings me to my favourite part of the vlog, the gameplay grade for the day. And for today, I'm going to give myself a B+. I was pretty satisfied with how I played throughout the session. I don't feel like I ever got upset or made any decisions out of emotional tilt type stuff. So I was happy that I was able to stay focused. I think I responded to my opponent's strategies fairly well. But the reason I'm giving myself a B+, not an A, is because I'm not 100% confident that I did optimally exploit my opponents. And this is why I wanted to include that ace-queen hand. It's just, I think it might be a good spot to go ahead and fold the turn with the ace-queen there. Like I said, it was an unknown opponent, and I don't know that they are a tighter opponent who isn't going to do that with the nut flush as well. It's definitely possible that they could be, and we did unblock the nut flush as well. But having said that though, typically in these 1-2-6 max games, people sort of, if I'm going to believe anything based on the games that I play, I think they're going to be tilted slightly towards being tighter. And if I was really dialed in and focused on this opponent and trying to exploit them, I might have been able to get away from that hand in particular. The fact that I wasn't able to, I definitely do think it contributed to the size of the loss. Having said that, though, it's a close decision anyway, so I'm not going to downgrade myself that much. Obviously, I'm super stoked with how I played the king-queen hand that we did go over. So yeah, in general, I was pretty happy with how I played, but definitely could make a few tweaks to exploit my opponents better moving forward. So B+ feels fair for the session. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about those hands though, so hop down in the comments below, let me know what you think, particularly the ace-queen hand on the turn there. Do you think that's a good spot to go ahead and make the exploitive fold against, smaller stakes type games? Do they just not bluffing that much when they take that line, or should you just call down because you are so high up in your range and your opponent could have a nut flush draw type hand? Really curious to hear what you guys think. Do you like calling the all in on the turn, or do you think it's a good spot to just go ahead and fold on the turn? Hop down in the comments below, let me know what you think. That's going to wrap up the vlog for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's going to help this channel grow so much. And I really do appreciate everyone who has subscribed already. So thank you. Do appreciate you. For now, I'm out of here. Peace.